A startling story of an 87-year-old woman who collapsed at a retirement home. A nurse called 911 but refused to perform CPR, even when the dispatcher pleaded with her to do so. ABC's Abby Boudreau joins us from Los Angeles right now with a dramatic 911 tape. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Robin. This recorded 911 call has many people questioning why company policy seemed to trump saving the life of a dying woman.
They're refusing CPR. They're going to let her die.
These are the frantic moments leading up to the end of Lorraine Bayless's life.
We need to get CPR started. That's not enough. Okay?
Yeah, we can't do CPR.
The 87-year-old, seen here in a Facebook photo, collapsed in the dining room of Glenwood Gardens Retirement Center last Tuesday. But as she lay dying on the floor, a nurse can be heard in these newly released 911 calls, arguing with a 911 dispatcher and refusing to try and save Bayless's life.
If you can't do it, I need to hand it to the passerby. I'll have her do it. Or if you've got any citizens there, I'll have them.
No.
This woman's not breathing enough. She's going to die if we don't get this started. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay.
I am a nurse, but I cannot have our other senior citizens who don't know CPR.
I will instruct them
We're in a dining room.
Okay. I don't understand why you're not willing to help this patient.
But the nurse remains steadfast, insisting it's against company policy to give Bayless CPR.
We're going to let this lady die?
Well, that's why we're calling 911.
We can't wait. She can't wait right now. She is stopping breathing.
He's saying we don't, so you can talk to my boss.
Yeah. But if there's any, as a human being, I don't, is there anybody that's willing to help this lady and not let her die?
Not at this time.
After nearly 7 tense minutes of arguing, paramedics finally arrive and take Bayless to the hospital. But it was too late. Bayless died that day.
I can't comment on people's moral choices. All I know is as far as first responders and our dispatchers, they're just trained to act.
And while it may be shocking, Glenwood Gardens apparently did everything it was legally obligated to do. The retirement home tells ABC News, quote, "Our practice is to immediately call emergency medical personnel for assistance and to wait with the individual needing attention until such personnel arrives. That is the protocol we followed." This morning, Bayless's family is grieving, but reportedly they do not fault the nurse heard on that call or the retirement home.
And this morning, in a statement, the retirement home sends its condolences to the Bayless family. And law enforcement officials tell ABC News there's no investigation pending in her death. Robin?
All right, Abby, thank you. GMA legal analyst Dan Abrams joins us now. Abby touched upon it. Legally, what is the situation
First of all,
here?
bravo to the 911 operator,
Yes.
right? I mean, the way she's going at it, trying to get some action here. Look, generally there is no legal obligation to act or to help anyone. That changes, though, if you're talking about someone who's at a medical facility, for example, then there can be an obligation. And that's where the question comes in. This appears to have been an independent living facility, separate from a neighboring nursing home. If that's the case, if this is essentially an apartment complex for the elderly, they may have absolutely no legal obligation to do this. Furthermore, I was just talking to Dr. Besser about this, and he was saying that CPR is dangerous business for an 87-year-old, and it can be very risky. And as a result, there are legal concerns that have to be raised when you're talking about that. And some people might have said, I don't want my 87-year-old to get CPR at all.
But we don't know the condition of this 87-year-old.
Correct.
Not all 87-year-olds are the same. So legally, okay. The fact that this was a nurse is something that people just can't get past. Whether or not, yes, she was following the rules of her retirement home, it doesn't sit well with a lot of people.
Particularly when you listen to the way she responded. She seemed so nonchalant about the whole thing. There was no concern about, oh my goodness, there's someone dying here. I mean, when you're in the business of helping people, you would think that there would be some obligation to do something to help. But they had a very firm policy at this place, and if she were to have done something, she would have been violating the company's policy. And I think that's where they got to focus it is. Was the company policy the right one?
And again, the woman's family who is deceased said they have no problem.
Which I was surprised at, which suggests there might not be any civil action either.
All right, Dan, thanks very much.
Okay.